So, welcome to Here We Go Again 2016 presidential coverage. And today's a very special episode as we're going to be kicking off our first issues episode. That's where we look at the issues in the 2016 presidential election. I'm going to explain what the issue is. Then I'm going to pick a few of the candidates and say what their stances are on that issue. And then I might just give my own opinions on those issues. And the first issue we're going to be looking at today is illegal immigration. And despite what Donald Trump said, it's not just an issue because he made it an issue. People aren't just talking about it because he was talking about it. It's an issue that comes around every presidential election. What is their immigration policy? How are they going to handle illegal immigration? So by some estimates, there are 12 million illegal immigrants living in the United States. What the exact number is anyone's guess, but because they're here illegally, that's all undocumented. And of course, these people come here illegally for the same reasons that people who immigrate to the United States legally come from. They want to get out of their country because of poverty, because of civil wars, and basically the United States has more opportunities. It's a utopia in their eyes. So one of the biggest complaints about illegal immigrants stems from the fact that because they're undocumented, they have to seek employment that's under the table where people look the other way. And for this to happen, they get paid less than someone who's an American citizen or here legally in the United States. In that sense, people think that they're taking jobs away from poor Americans. And down those same lines, many people think that they are being exploited by people who would seek their employment, and that they miss out on many of the luxuries that we American workers have, such as safety on the job and health care, getting weekends off, having set hours. And of course, if you're an illegal alien, you can forget about forming a union. And even worse, even if they can't find this sort of exploiting employment, they may have to turn to something like crime to meet ends meet, which means a lot of dealing with drugs and prostitution. Fucking dick! Or, murder for hire. Maybe someone's trying to shoot a YouTube video and his obnoxious brother wants to be obnoxious, so he hires an illegal alien as a hitman. Just saying. So what are the candidates in 2016 saying about illegal immigration? Well, let's start with Donald Trump. So when he was announcing that he was going to run for president, Donald Trump brought up illegal immigration, specifically legal immigrants coming from Mexico, and he said much to the effect that they were people with problems. We're bringing their problems over here, and they were bringing over crime and drugs, and they were rapists. And some of them he assumed were good people. And if elected president, he would build a wall, a great giant wall between Mexico and the United States. That he said was going to be inexpensive because he was going to have Mexico pay for it. Okay, and now let's look at another candidate, and I'm just going to pick one at random on the Democratic side, and we're going to go with Martin O'Malley, who said something to the effect that if you looked at immigration from a business standpoint, you took away fairness and kindness and justice, and you just left it with a business motive, it didn't make any sense for us to just be deporting people left and right. That would be money that we'd be losing in the business section. So what he's calling for is immigration reform. And when you look at the Republicans and the Democrats, they have different ideas, but basically the focus for a Republican is on national security and the laws, and with the Democrats is coming on the people. Now, what do I think about illegal immigration? So let's discuss the wall option, because even though Donald Trump said it, it's not like he's the only person who's ever proposed we have a wall between Mexico and the United States that runs across the entire border. And whenever I hear people talking about this great wall that we need to build, I just think that is so fucking stupid. Do you have any idea how much money that would cost? That border between the United States and Mexico is 1,989 miles. And you figure you're going to build this wall up, I don't know, 6 to 8 feet tall. You do that with anything, concrete bricks or cinder blocks. That's going to cost a shitload of money. And the only thing it's going to do is serve as a monument to human stupidity. Because, people will find some other way of getting into the United States. They'll find ways to scale over the wall. Ladders and ropes, platforms, and all sorts of things. They'll do like that drug dealer did. El Churro got out of prison. They'll just tunnel underneath. Or they'll just, bypass the wall completely by going to the coastlines, either, the west or the east. And they'll get on a boat and they'll sail it, drive it, through the Gulf of Mexico or the Pacific Ocean and then land on the nearest coastline. That's how they'll get into the United States. And also another question that comes up with this giant wall thing is how many border crossings are there going to be? How many, doors are there going to be where people can legally cross from the United States to Mexico? How could this, affect the trade we have between our two countries? And since you still have those border crossings, people have shown they have ways of smuggling people in. A lot of ingenuity on that. So they'd still be getting in even through the wall. Why is it just the southern border where we need a wall? I mean, white is it about Canadians that we just trust them? The border between us and them is even much larger than the Mexican border. It's 5,552 miles. The largest border in the world. There are going to be huge holes in that. I mean, we're going to build a wall there too. It'd be like 3 times the cost or some shit. And even if we do build a wall there and we build a wall in Mexico, that's just like the land borders. What about all the people who come in here, through? What about all the people who take a boat or a plane over here? There's plenty of gaps there where people are being smuggled in on, the ships, and then on the planes they come in over here legally. Then they overextend their visa. They don't go home. Why are these people getting a pass? No one's looking for them. So no, I don't think a giant wall is the solution to illegal immigration. Generally, I just think people need to calm down about illegal immigration. Yes, they're breaking the law, but them crossing the border, what kind of crime is that really? It should be treated down the lines of, in my opinion, it should be treated down the lines of, like loitering or trespassing, jaywalking. As far as, illegal immigrants, yes, a lot of them do commit, crimes like murder, rape, and drug dealing. But I don't think it's any more than any United States citizen who was born in the United States. We have a lot of criminals in the United States, and it just seems kind of silly how when it's an illegal immigrant committing a crime, we just go hysterical. I mean, what's really the difference? If, an American-born citizen murders someone, what's the difference between that and an illegal alien murdering someone? You could say, well, if it wasn't for illegal immigration, that illegal immigrant murderer wouldn't be here. Well, I could just say if we just deported people randomly, our own citizens, American-born citizens, we could always say that they wouldn't commit crimes. It's about the same logic. Now, with the Democrats, they were always talking about how they want to make a path to citizenship easier for illegal immigrants. Well, I don't think we need to make it that easy. I mean, sure, we can't deport all these people, but I don't think we should just automatically make them citizens. That's not going to discourage people from coming over here. I think we should make it just a little harder than it would be if they had come over here legally. Like on the citizen test. I don't know how many questions someone who's trying to be a citizen has to answer. Well, let's say it's like 14. So with someone who was an illegal immigrant and they want to go for a citizen test, their standard is going to be a little higher. And let's make it threefold. So 14 times 3 is 42. They have to answer 42 questions. But I think one of the best things we can do is to kind of look at, well, why do all these people want to come to the United States? And the answer is obvious. We're the greatest nation in the world, right? So here's what we need to do. We need to stop convincing the rest of the world that we're the greatest nation in the world. You need to be a little mum about that. That way they won't think about coming here. So there's, more news reports about when things go bad in the United States. And then they get sent on a global level. And they think, oh, we don't want to go there. They got people shooting one another left and right. And, the diseases. Look at that. You could get measles or Legionnaire's disease or Ebola. I mean, has there been any cases of Ebola in Mexico? I don't think so. Show the ride, and it's like, wow, their cities are unsafe. And then, of course, maybe show them that Canada is a wonderful place to go to.